and welcome to Football Focus, everybody. Joining us this week in the studio is the former England international Trevor Sinclair, and we have plenty to talk about. Fresh from his Africa Cup of Nations triumph, Wilfried Boney is back and ready to fire Manchester City to glory. Ricardo Carvalho will tell us why Monaco are an outside bet for European success this season. And with the MLS season just weeks away, David Villa tells us about his American dream. All that to come for you, and we'll also update you on the Europa League. But we'll start in the northwest of England. Despite being Premier League champions, Manchester City have failed to live up to expectations in Europe over the last few seasons. Have they finally, though, found their man to change those fortunes? Damien Johnson has been to speak to their new striker, Wilfried Boney.
Boney, clinical again. Wilfried Boney!
Wilfried, welcome to Manchester City. Has it been a bit difficult? You signed last month and it's taken so long to actually get here.
Yeah, it's taking long, but we have an African Cup of Nations, so for me it was very important to focus on that first.
A 22-year wait for Ivory Coast to win it. What was it like?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. 23 years. It was, I think, fantastic to win finally. We are really proud of what we've done.
You're here at City now. How influential, how important was Yaya Toure in persuading you to come here?
Yeah, he helped me a lot. He helped me a lot. He told to me always about the big clubs. He told to me that I can be in the big club. It's depend on me, and then he said, if you try, you will see. So
you had a trial with Liverpool, I think, a long time ago. Why did that not work out?
I was not ready. I was come from Africa, the first division. You know, it's not the same level. And come directly to Liverpool, where they play Champions League. They have Peter Crouch, Zenden, Momo Sissoko. For me, it was not the same level, so I can't be like them. And then the more important for me was to see and to have the experience. And then I got that.
When you were growing up, who were the strikers that you looked up to and admired?
Ronaldo from Brazil.
Drogba?
Ronaldo from Brazil.
Why so special to you?
No, because when I was young, I was playing defenders on trial back, and it was the players who I really love, because the way he plays, it was complex strikers, and I always try, even when I was playing defender, to make a dribble or something to go to finish. And then one time my coach said to me that you can't play defender anymore, you need to go forward. And this has changed my life like this.
We're here in the City dressing room, your shirt hanging up next to Aguero. How's it going to work?
Yeah, it can work. I can play alone or I can play with Aguero. He's one of the best strikers in the world now. So for me, it will be great to learn. Sitting close to him is a big honor, because we know how important he is for the team. So I think I will learn a lot with him and the other players.
Hopefully you will make your debut against Newcastle this weekend. Just give us a sense of your feelings of excitement and anticipation ahead of the game. Yeah,
I'll be happy, but the more important, I know why I'm here. It's just I want to win some trophy, and it's a great opportunity for me to improve my way to play in my career, in my life. So that will be a great feeling if I play.
7 points behind the leaders, Chelsea. Can you catch them?
Yeah, there is, I think, 13 games, so everything is possible. We just have to believe and try to win the maximum point.
So it's Barcelona, Champions League next week. I mean, what are your thoughts on going there? That's as big as it gets, I guess.
Yeah, for me it's a bigger game. It's the biggest game because this is my first game. That will be my first game if I'm playing in the Champions League. But I need to be ready. But I really don't think about that now, because now I'm just arrived. I just think about getting fit and getting ready for the Saturday games. And then after that, I can think about Barcelona.
Your dancing celebration, will you be bringing it to the Etihad again?
Yeah, I hope so. We have a music from Africa especially, and then I watch some new dance in Ivory Coast. And when it's coming, I have a friend that say, okay, tomorrow if I score, I will dance that. So he said, okay, I'll be watching your game and be ready for that. So every time it's in my mind. When I got a chance, sometimes I don't think about the goals. I think about dancing first. But to dance, I need to score. So, but it's a great feeling for me when I score and I'm going to dance.
Your teammates are going to join in. Are there any decent dancers in the dressing room?
We will see first Saturday. You will see.
Seems very comfortable, Trevor, very relaxed, hugely confident at the moment, having scored goals for Swansea, having won the Cup of Nations as well. He's a great signing for Manchester City, isn't he?
Absolutely brilliant signing. I think the fact that he gets on so well with Yaya, and he did so in the African Nations Cup, I think that's a massive positive for Manchester City. Full of goals, likeable guy. He looks like a monster. He's built like you wouldn't believe.
You'd struggle to push him off the ball, wouldn't you?
No, and you can just see him scoring a lot of goals. He's, he's got everything. His goal-scoring record speaks for itself in the Premier League. We're not sure about what he's going to do in the Champions League yet. I think the only question mark you have is, can he do it at a giant club where the expectancy is huge? I think the interesting thing also is how Manchester City are going to play. You know, they've been playing usually with one up top, Aguero. Will they play with a two up top and change the shape? So it's lots of things to think about, but yeah, excited to see him play.
It certainly gives Pellegrini options, doesn't he? Let's have a look at the top of the Premier League table. You mentioned he'd been bought principally for European competition, but City play Newcastle this weekend. They remain 7 points behind Chelsea, the leaders, with 13 games to go. Chelsea play Burnley on Saturday. Let's look at the Champions League, though. You talked about the fact that he's been brought with an eye to getting things right in Europe. Barcelona are the opponents in the knockout stage. You flap your lips because it's a mouth-watering tie. Can they get past the Spanish giants, who aren't where they were 4 or 5 years ago, but still formidable?
Well, you look at the record of the last 6 games for Barcelona. They've scored 26 goals, won 6 games out of 6. And you look at the forward three, Messi, Neymar and Suarez.
Average.
Who seem to have just clicked and are playing some unbelievable football. And, you know, with a smile on the face, Messi scoring hat-tricks like the normal thing to do. And I think the two others feel like a little bit of also-rans, but are enjoying it and getting their fair share of goals as well. So for City, it's going to be unbelievably difficult to keep them three quiet. But if they can, I think they've definitely got the firepower to cause Barcelona problems. You know, Etihad, busy night, full of, enthusiastic Manchester City fans. It's going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, and it's certainly a way to shut up all those people who say they haven't been able to do it in the Champions League in recent seasons. Let's have a look at the rest of the Champions League fixtures coming up over the next few days for you. Juventus currently flying in Serie A. They take on Dortmund, who are beginning... Don't want to get carried away, Dortmund fans, beginning to turn things around in the Bundesliga. I don't think anyone would have imagined, with the team spirit that they had last season. He's so highly rated.
And how everyone feels about him, you know, he's a likeable manager. He seems to get the best out of his players. But this season, for some reason, whatever it is, has been a bit of a write-off. But they've won the last 2. They've gone up to 15th from bottom, I must add. And they're starting to show signs of what we were all used to seeing last season. So it's going to be an intriguing game. But you're looking at Paul Pogba, Tevez, these players playing for Juve, playing out the skin, very, very confident. It's going to be a difficult game for Dortmund to get a win out of this one.
Yeah, not quite top of the clops at the moment, are
no.
they? Do you like that one?
Good one.
You can use it. You can have that one. Last year's runners-up in the Champions League, Atletico Madrid faced Bayer Leverkusen on Wednesday, while Arsene Wenger's Arsenal side hosts former side Monaco as well. We sent Ben Smith to the Principality to see Ricardo Carvalho.
I'm pleased to live here because it's a small city, it's not a big city, but the weather is normal, is fantastic, and the city is beautiful.
Does it feel like a different club because of where it is, the location, the setting?
Yes, it's a little bit different than the previous clubs I played. I think now the people loves much more the football. They go to the state, they speak about it on a city. And they are so happy because you are playing Champions League, and you have to carry on in that way.
We've seen quite a few changes since you came here. Now we've seen James Rodriguez go to Real Madrid. Falcao, of course, is playing for Manchester United. How has it changed in the last season or so?
No, last season the club comes from the 2nd division, and they invest a lot. The club this year, they couldn't keep the players. James Rodriguez is impossible to say no, and the offer was unbelievable. And Falcao, he thinks like he deserves more. He wants to play in the Premier League as well. And this year, of course, you are in a different way, but you are improving our game.
And tell me about the French league. How does it compare to the Premier League, La Liga?
No, it's different, but it's tough also. You have it's a little bit physical as well. Of course, I think it's a mix between Premier League and La Liga. La Liga, everyone wants to play. They don't want to fight as you see in the Premier League. and here is between them, between both leagues.
And tell me, you're going back to London, obviously, with Monaco. This game against Arsenal is a big one for the club.
Yeah, it's true. You played there in August in the Emirates Cup, and it was good to play against Arsenal. Of course, you won, but it was good to show that you can do well even a friendly game. And now it's completely different. Everyone here dreams to play that game, and everyone respect, of course, a lot of the club Arsenal, respect the players they got, and also the coach they got. Everyone got a lot of respect, and I think the pressure is more for them than for us. And that can help us a little bit.
Tell me about Wenger, clearly a great manager here for Monaco over the years.
Everyone got in France, everyone got a lot of respect. They speak so good things about Wenger, and even in Premier League I have a lot of respect of him. He's a great coach.
If you win this game, how far can Monaco go in the Champions League? Can they surprise people?
For the people, it's already a surprise to be in this stage. You have to go step by step. I think it's important. First game, special away from home, you have to do well. But if you play one good, one normally, you are out.
It does make you long for the Monaco lifestyle. They are struggling now at the moment in Ligue 1. They finished second last year, way off the pace this season. This is the top half of the league coming into this weekend's fixtures. It does seem, Trevor, that they have been one of the clubs who've really felt that what financial fair play has done to them. You can see that it is having an impact on the club.
Well, it is. I think the financial fair play, they've had to get rid of players. Falcao and Rodriguez, huge players for them last season. They've gone on to better things. Oh, one of them has anyway. And then they brought in Berbatov. So I think that tells you what restraints they had in the what player they could bring in. I'm not saying Berbatov's a bad player, but he's coming towards the end of his career. And actually, when it comes to a club and a player mixing well, I think that's the perfect club for Berbatov.
It's a lovely insight from Ricardo Carvalho there into what it's been like at the club. But in terms of an Arsenal perspective on this Monaco tie, Arsene Wenger does have those connections with the club. He is incredibly young, alongside Mark Hateley and Glenn Hoddle. One of the great tracksuits of all time there from Arsene
Always
Wenger.
looked very slim, Mark Hateley, and then he takes his top off and he's a monster. I was at Queen's Park Rangers with him, great lad.
Thank you for that insight there, Trevor. How will Wenger be approaching this, do you think?
Well, I think there'll be some emotional ties, obviously, to the club. He's been there for so long. But I think it's a great opportunity for Arsenal, I really do. I think the league form, they've looked really good. I think they've changed the formation and the way they go into games now, where they'll go into games and slightly tinker with things depending on the position, which Arsene Wenger's never done in the past. I think they're playing with lots of confidence, and it's a great opportunity for Arsenal to go that step further.
Let's show you the Champions League results from this week as well, because it has been a busy few days. Real Madrid leads Schalke 2-0. I've got to ask you about Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea, which was a game we talked about in recent weeks. They drew, but it's not the football we're talking about. It's the incident that many people have seen. Took place on the Paris Metro before the game, with a number of Chelsea fans not allowing a black man to enter the train, pushing him out a few times. The club have acted. They've suspended 3 people from Stamford Bridge and threatened banning orders for life. It's just the sort of thing, Trevor, that if you didn't see the video, you wouldn't believe it could happen.
Yeah, and it looked like a busy train. There would have been kids about there and things like that who I'm sure would have been affected by what they'd seen. I thought the man in question was very brave to continue to try and stick up for himself and board the train. But for me, it's a problem in society. I think I'm glad that Chelsea have come out and threatened to ban the players, the people that have been blamed for this. And that's all the club can do, really. But I think it's more of a wider issue for society, and there's always going to be a minority, unfortunately.
Social media has been busy this week. Let's have a look at the FIFA presidency first of all, because Luis Figo launched his manifesto this week. Had a few false starts with this, with David Ginola. Loads of people with their opinions on this as well. Eric Bjorlo from Norway has contacted us on the BBC Sport Facebook page saying Figo would make a good president, but the whole system stinks.